What's happening, guys? Thank you so much for dropping in with me today on this vlog. This share that you're watching right now comes from a place of love and gratitude, so thank you so much for tuning in. This is a disclaimer, in a sense. I'm in California still. I've been here for about a month. I went into the desert with these guys called Sacred Sons, who are an organization that do men's work. And if you're not entirely sure what men's work is, stay tuned, check it out. Go and check out the links that I've put in the description, Sacred Sons, all their Instagram, their website, and everything is on there. If you're interested at all in doing any men's work and feeling that call, if you're a man or identify with the masculine and you feel the call to do some men's work, these guys are insane. So this is a bunch of clips that I filmed on my iPhone, just checking in throughout the sort of 10 days that I was in the desert with them. And thank you so much, Sacred Sons, for accommodating and allowing me to film some bits and pieces and share. And thank you to all the pillars and the facilitators that were there helping us process and do this men's work, and we're happy also to share on some of the clips to give a bit more insight about the work for you and me. So yeah, it's quite long, but it's in the desert and it's a deep dive, and if you're interested in any of this kind of internal men's work, then maybe it's a little bit of an insider view of what to expect. Thank you, Sacred Sons. Thank you so much. Thank you to all the brothers that I've met and held space for me whilst I was processing a lot of deep emotions and a lot of deep trauma that I've been carrying. That I've been literally came to California to like process that shit. I had the best time ever. I am not anywhere near the same person who left and came out to California now. Everything's changed. Anyway, I'm going on. Please go and check out Sacred Sons on Instagram if you feel the call to. It literally will change your life. I love you guys. Enjoy the vlog.
Marco, he has a 6 Sprinter van.
Yeah.
What is this?
Yo,
What is this?
we're going to Burning Man, bro. We're going to Burning Man. Burning
Sick.
Convergence, Sacred Sons.
Sounds great.
Oh, is that bass?
It's that bass.
Going for a hike with some of the boys. Good morning, everybody. What's happening? What's going on? Welcome to the desert in California. Just up here on a little rock having a meditate. It's about 6:30 in the morning. This is a Liberty Rising Meditation and Healing Center. And over this weekend, what's happening here is a Sacred Sons convergence. And there's about 100 men, excluding the 30 or 40 facilitators that I arrived here with and have been connecting with and making friends with. Yeah, this weekend's going to be big. This is what I came to California for, is this masculine embodiment work. It's early in the morning. The sun is rising over there on the rocks. It's a little bit chilly, but when the sun comes out here, it's beautiful. Last night, I participated in my first sweat lodge, which was a really deep experience. And you're not allowed to photograph or film sweat lodges. It's a very sacred, ceremony. There's plenty of other healing experiences to be had over this weekend, which I'm planning on diving right into. There's workshops, and I'll film bits and pieces, but I'm here to do the work, so I'm not here first and foremost to film everything, but I will be reporting back on how I feel. This place is actually like a movie set. Look at these cacti. How Dawson. I'm planning on filming more and uploading more onto this channel again now that I feel like I have built up the confidence to do so again. My confidence was knocked, obviously, for a little bit, based upon my personal circumstances, my mental health, and things like trying to understand why I was uploading so much content and the reasons for needing such validation from an audience. These are all things that I've been doing, which you guys know by now, I'm sure. It's something that I am taking obviously very seriously because, I mean, there's nothing more important to me than the mental health. It takes work. It takes work, especially if you have conditioned patterns that you are stuck in, like stories in your head about how things should be, about how you are, about how other people see you. Stop the vlog, stop the vlog. Something that I learned on this Sacred Sons retreat was that when sharing about something, when sharing an experience or speaking about something that's happened, it's really important to stick to I statements. So an I statement is where I say, my experience was like this, or this, when this happened to me, this is how it made me feel, rather than saying, like I have been just now, you know, when this happens to us, or you know, when we do this, or you do that, and projecting my own personal experience through sharing. That's not me claiming it as my own, and it's also assuming that the people that I'm sharing it with are having the exact same experiences as me, which is not the case always. Actually really positive to take ownership of your own personal experience and not assume that the people that you're sharing it with are having the same experience. So I'm just pulling myself up there, I'm bringing back the I statements, and you'll notice now when I say you, I'm projecting. But yeah, this was before I learned all of this stuff, so I'm gonna forgive myself. All sorts of these like narratives that run through our head that we develop when we're young and can end up making us depressed and anxious and not enjoy life and miss out on all the best bits. So learned recently that I've been depressed since about 12 or 13 years old. I also learned that I was identifying myself by my achievements, by that which I do. So that's why I was overachieving through my kayaking and becoming world champion. I was enjoying a lot of it, but I also was doing it out of motivation of being seen, feeling like I wasn't worthy of love unless I did something that made me worthy of love, like win races. And then that translated through again to when I picked up making YouTube videos. I only felt like I was worthy of love and that I deserved validation and my existence was valid if I was uploading videos. And then that was the kind of relationship that I had with you guys, my audience, which was a toxic one, and it's nothing to do with you, it's all to do with me. And now, well, compared to less than 2 years ago, now, every waking moment right now, I am just grateful for. Just existing. I am satisfied with just existing. There's nothing I need to do externally to feel like I should be here, and that was a big one to get over, and that was a lot to do with self-love. So check this cactus out there, sick cactus. So the reason self-love is important, and the reason it's important to love yourself, is because you can't rely on anybody else to do it for you. And if you feel like you're unworthy of love, that's what you're going to attract in your life. And then if you become dependent upon things like an audience for validation, or dependent upon your achievements and to identify yourself with. Ultimately, you're going to find yourself a little bit stuck at some stage if you stop achieving and qualifying for that love, or if ever you end up not having an audience to validate you. It's a superficial validation, and it all needs to come from within here, which sounds cliche, but all the love you need is right in here. And what motivated me to start doing this work, apart from being in relationships that weren't working, and in terms of repeated patterns, you can only love someone as much as you love yourself. So that's what I've been doing, learning to love myself and learning to accept myself, accept my past, accept all the mistakes that I've made, accept the previous chapters that have presented me with challenges and continue to, all of these things that I was doing in an unconscious mindset, subconsciously playing out these narratives that I believed to be true in my head. And none of them were serving me, really. What they were serving me were big fat lessons. And that's changing that paradigm, that realization that things aren't happening to me and I'm not a victim, that things are happening for me and there's lessons in everything, as long as I can accept it, love it, and move on from it. So that's why I'm here doing this work with these brothers, is because, well, firstly, I have a bit of an ingrained distrust in men, which I think a lot of men have. It's for all sorts of reasons, which I won't go into. And I've never had brothers. I've never had any brothers. I've had very good, close male friends. But this is the first time that I've felt like I can be truly, truly, truly vulnerable, truly, and be held by brothers. And already, we haven't even really started this work, and already I feel like a completely different human just being around these men who are really embodying what it means to be the divine masculine archetype, where of pure love and strength. And we'll talk more about this, but that's why I'm here. It feels so good. So this is Alpha Convergence Weekend, and next week is Omega Convergence Weekend, where another 100 men are going to be coming and joining us and doing this work. But yeah, if you're interested, stick around. If you're not interested, that's okay. Plenty of other travel vloggers doing stuff that's not quite so deep if you're just here for entertainment. But with my content now, I feel like I want to bring something a little bit more authentic, a little bit more vulnerable, more truth, less pandering to popularity and ego, and more embodiment of what it really means to enjoy this human existence. Welcome to Saturday, the first full day of that Alpha Sacred Sons Convergence. Yesterday was the opening ceremony, which we had right here by this fire. We had over 140 men in the circle here, doing the opening ceremony. It was so beautiful. What happened after that? Then we had sound healing in the evening, and we went to a talk by Kevin Walton, which was incredible. I'm going to link Kevin Walton down below. You guys must go and check out his stuff. Yeah, I can't really describe it. You just have to go and check him out. I'm going to try and get him on a podcast. Most of the men, including myself here, are here to do the work. And there's a bunch of men here who have done the work and continue doing the work, who are helping to facilitate our transformational experiences here on this men's retreat. Basically, it's a men's retreat for the weekend. The idea of this men's retreat, this one specifically, is about identifying limitations and moving past them, and understanding what limitations we put on ourselves, what limitations we've received from others in terms of belief systems, identifying those, processing those, moving beyond them, especially the ones that are not serving us in our lives. Beliefs like you are not enough, or you are unlovable, or you are unworthy, or you do not deserve things. These, like, for me, unworthiness, not feeling worthy of love, has been something I've been working on for a while now. I identified that a while ago, and that's something that I continue to push on as we do this work. So last night we had a sound journey, the best sound journey I've ever been on. Breath work involved as well at the time. So if any of you guys are familiar with like Wim Hof, where you do like belly breathing, chest breathing, and then out. So you kind of go and you keep doing that for about 7 or 8 minutes, and you transcend into another dimension. And that, along with the sound journey, it was very powerful. I had a lot of really vivid memories coming up for me around my childhood. In previous sound journeys and breath work, I have actually processed emotions and had some like anger come up and things which I've processed. But this one was this was deep, but it wasn't. I actually cried at the opening ceremony because it was so powerful. But I cried because I realized that just how much I need this. Got emotional, and it's going to get even more emotional and deep. That's what we're here for. We're deep diving right now, and I feel held by my brothers. I feel held by men. This is not a feeling that I'm used to, but it seems to be filling a gap in me, like the relationship with men, and having a good relationship with men like that is like filling something in me that I never knew was such a big gap in my life, that trust in men. We've got workshops today around men and sex, divine sexuality. We've got more breath work, we've got ice baths, there's drumming circles, there are council groups where you can open up and share. These guys are doing a workshop right now on building your own business, starting your own business. But I'm going to go do breath work. This is where the sound journey was last night. It's such a beautiful space.
Good brothers, our breath is our connection to ourself, our connection to spirit, our connection to life. And if you all just take a moment now and just take some breaths and just notice where you're actually breathing. Like, are you breathing into your belly? Are you breathing into your heart space? Are you breathing into your throat? Where are you actually breathing? Because it'll say a lot for you right now of where your actual nervous system is sitting. As you start to breathe, just tell yourself, I am safe, I'm held, I'm loved, I'm supported. And just allow the love of the earth to hold you, and allow me and Bam to hold you as well, because we're holding you very, very tight in this container. Anything that comes up, allow yourself to express it. If there's tears, allow the tears to flow. If there's anger, allow the anger to come out. If you need to shake your body, allow your body to shake, because releasing tension from the nervous system. But you will find your own natural rhythm, and you'll get into a state where you'll feel like you're not even breathing anymore. You won't be consciously breathing, you'll just be in this state of circular breathing.
Okay, post breath work. This is the post breath work rundown, and I want you guys to meet Bam. It's my brother, he's my new friend. I just met. He's one of the pillars, one of the sacred sons here. helping guide us really into that new space. How would you describe I suppose I should probably describe the experience, shouldn't I?
Yeah, he's coming off of a deep journey. So.
How does breathwork work for the people? Because I'm not very good at explaining it.
Yeah, breathwork is an umbrella term, just like yoga is. And the way I work with breathwork is just bringing intention to breathing. Most people in our world, in our society, don't breathe. We're contracted. So if we focus on just filling our bodies, beautiful things happen with releases. Our body's like a living library. So we accumulate a lot of shit into our bodies and our cells, and we don't give ourselves a chance to release that. And breath is a beautiful technology that we've had since the beginning of time that supports that.
It's our connection to life. You were saying earlier, it's like if you don't have a good connection with your breath, you don't have a good connection with your existence, like your life. So like your breath is an indicator of how you are experiencing life.
Absolutely.
So with that breath work, how long was that going on for? About half an hour?
It was 28 minutes of active breathing.
28 minutes of continual breath, a specific technique. And my experience of that was that I had like deep anger come up from somewhere that I didn't know I needed to express. Like I'm not an angry person at all. And I think a big realization for me in that journey was that I need to express myself when I feel the need to. And I feel like certainly in my life I've just not said the things I need to say, and so I was going I was making like noises like I've never made before. So thank you. I feel like such a sense of release and just being held by men is like so beautiful. Yeah. So thank you, Bam.
Welcome, bro.
Thank you, brother. Okay, next thing, we're going to the dome to get physical. We're going to do some wrestling in the dome right now. It's not my usual jam, but it's important.
So this is a workshop about getting in touch with your body. This is about you. This is also about how we relate to each other, how we interrelate, how our bodies interrelate. But this is mostly about the armpit.
We've been doing some wrestling.
Over.
Been doing some group activities, partner work.
Right, so we both
It's getting
have
pretty physical.
a fair amount of leverage here. This and this. So if I'm here, I can pressure with my head, I can push, I can drop, I can spin. Right? There's a lot that. Okay, left side. This is the time, boys, for us to bring our warrior energy into our life and maintain connection. Go! Keep your elbows in. Drop your levels.
Oh my goodness. Thank you.
Okay, who knows how to pummel?
For everybody watching.
Go!
I'm not a fighter, I'm a lover. Okay guys, this is Trevor Spring, one of the facilitators here on this Sacred Sons weekend, and we just did a workshop called Wild and Wise, which it's not like nothing I've ever done before. I usually shy away from contact. Trev, tell us a little bit more about like the different archetypes that you were teaching us about around masculinity, and because as far as I'm aware, we were talking about the warrior archetype, the lover, the magician, and there's one I'm missing, the king. So what does that mean?
Well, I'll share a little bit about how this started. I was doing men's groups for 6 years, and I was just like, wow, these are just not embodied. We're sitting around in a circle in our heads.
Yeah.
And so I started leading hikes and that kind of thing and doing circles, and it came to me that we needed to do wrestling.
Sure.
Because
To bring us back into our bodies and
right, and
Right.
into connection and intimacy with each other to mirror the level of intimacy that we're building in circle, in groups. And then as I did it, it became clear that it needed to be framed around the 4 masculine archetypes. And we start in the lover, which is very much about connection, which is very much about fluidity, which is very much about sensitivity and awe and pleasure and like connecting with each other, but ultimately connecting with ourselves. These are about embodying these energies like really clearly in myself, and then I can bring it to the container. So the lover's about that. It's sensuality, all these different things. And to know how these show up in the workshop, you have to take the workshop.
yeah, totally.
And the warrior, which is more about action, which can be about confrontation. It's healthy boundaries. There's colors to each one. There's directions to each one. But the energy of the warrior is about creating a safe space, and it's about taking action to do that from a heart-centered, grounded place.
So it's like an acceptance that is an archetype of the masculine that must be given attention to and exercised and understood.
Right.
It's not just to be ignored.
Right. You
Yeah.
can't. Well, and I'll talk about that at the end. But so it needs to be embraced and then not over or under expressed is the idea. To find that true like Tao, to find the true rooted
the
way.
balance.
Right. So I guess I'll just say it now, because each archetype has basically its fullest expression, and that has its negative pole and its positive pole. Like it's over or underemphasized polarity, and there's qualities to each of those. The shadow warrior is different from like the weakling. Those are like the polar aspects of the warrior.
Yep.
So then the magician is like the West, the color black, inner knowing, intuition, the bridge between the seen and the unseen.
Like that mystical area.
Right. And it's also very much about planning. It's very much about like, I'm going to go inward and I'm going to look at my life and I'm going to really map out things so that my life is good for me. So it's very tangible. It doesn't have to be necessarily mystical, but if it's connected to intuition, it's mystical.
Okay.
So to put it in real world terms and not keep it out there in a mystical way.
Yeah.
But it can be. It is esoteric. It can be super like, I'm going to go into these deep streams of wisdom, of music, of art, of poetry, of,
These frequencies.
traditions, and if you can embody those and really go into what speaks to you, that is the energy of the magician. And it's also about expression. It's about creating this expression of what's in you. So it's also about communication. That's one of the ways that we use it in the round, as you saw.
Yeah.
And then the king energy is the color white. It's the north. It's the elder energy. And this is about stewardship. It's about like taking care of ourselves and taking care of and empowering others. It's not about rescuing or fixing other people. It's not about caretaking. It's about empowering others in a way that's well informed, that's lived it, that's like already been in those roles. It's like I've already done that. I've already been in the teenage lover.
I've got the experience,
Right.
and I'm here to share the wisdom that I've learned from it. That's
Right.
the king archetype.
Well, and it's not above the other energies. It's not above the lover. It's not above the warrior. The king will become the lover, fully embodied when it's the right moment. The king will become the warrior when it's the right moment. It's like, I know how to activate these energies in myself and to say, I could soften up a little bit here. I'm getting a little bit intense. I'm going to move back into connection. I'm going to take a breath with the person I'm getting intense with, and maybe I'm going to step back and I'm going to give them a little bit of space, because that knowing is king knowing, and the sensitivity is lover energy. And go, okay, I'm going to drop into my lover here, and I'm going to be able to hold space from a soft place. For example, there's a million ways it can show up. There's a million ways.
And in combination as well, I suppose. So it's all a balance. But I guess for me, it's like actually understanding that these are all parts of being a man. It's like all kind of news to me, right? And I think for a lot of men as well, it's like, oh, there's structure around how I can show up in the world and be my fullest expression and be the best man that I can possibly be. There's structure that we understand and can step into and learn and then embody and bring into real life.
Right.
Okay.
It's fascinating.
It's mad. That's what we're doing here. That's basically what we're doing here. This men's work is like learning about the ways that we can step into those different energies and then bring them through into our daily practice, into our daily lives to embody that divine masculine.
Right. Which is that,
I'm getting it. I'm getting it.
Okay, I got it. It's about integration. It's about integration, and it's also about like bringing up the parts that are underexpressed. Yeah, and there's some good books on these archetypes. King, Warrior, Magician, Lover.
King, Warrior, Magician, Lover.
Yeah,
I'm gonna read that.
It's the tome of Jungian analysts, Robert Moore and Gavin Gillette. You gotta read it. It's the one for sure.
Book recommendations in the link. I'm gonna also read that. Yeah, Trevor, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us. This was lunch. It was delicious. There's magicians in the kitchen cooking us beautiful plant-based food for this whole weekend. It was delicious. The food here is amazing, and I'm feeling on top of the world right now. Honestly, like I feel like a whole new human, and we're only on Saturday. It is now evening time, and check out the moon, guys. Full moon, I think it's today or tomorrow. Full moon in Aries, which is my natal moon, which is probably part of the reason I'm having so many emotional releases.
To be a cop, a firefighter, maybe one of these, but that was just a thought before going to Chuck E. Cheese. Blinded by the heroes I would always see on the TV. As I got older, the stress got fucking colder. Now, it's so hard to be sober. And I don't know what will I be when I grow up. What will I be when I grow up? What will I be when I grow up? What will I be when I grow up? And now I'm all grown up. But I know what. I'm here, about to go sleep in my hut. I used to work at Domino's, now Pizza Hut. This spiritual shit, that's what's up. Convergence 3. I came from the IE, and I'm an MC. B to the E to the L to the Z. When I was little, I had 3 aliens visit me, and they said you're gonna be something someday. You're gonna ignite the fire. You're gonna be able to inspire.
Yeah, I may well have got that. I got that on tape. Yeah, dude, you're so good at that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and he played for like 8 hours with us while we're surfing through all the shadows.
Shadow surfing.
Yeah. I like that better than shadow work.
Shadow surfing.
It's a little more playful. Yeah, it is good.
Strong, be a man, girl, anytime you need me. For real, girl, smear your world, believe me. Nothing make a man feel better than his woman. Queen with the crown, let me down for whatever. There's a few things that's forever. My ladies, we can make war, make babies. Back when I was nothing, you made a brother feel like he was something. That's why I'm with you to this day, no crime. These men are the reason. These men are the gift of why we have a safe space to be ourselves, to do this work. These men held us. They taught us. And they showed us new ways of being. These are men among men. You feel that?
Yeah.
These are men embodied in their gifts, in their passion, and their dedication to service. I honor you guys. Thank you so much.
All right, just like that, the weekend's over. That was the closing ceremony. We've mostly been integrating, actually, this morning. We did a lot of deep diving over yesterday, especially. So today has been about integration. Okay, so that was this closing ceremony for the first of 2 weekends that I did. I didn't film much in the second weekend, but between those two Alpha and Omega Sacred Sons convergences, I joined in and participated in the facilitator training course that I did between those 2 weekends. So we stayed at Liberty Arising and we spent our time learning about how to hold space for men, learning about what men's work is, and learning the importance of it, and learning how to do and run men's circles, which is kind of the entry level for this kind of men's work. And I was going to say actually that if any of you guys are interested in doing this but can't necessarily come to a Sacred Sons event, or not sure about what's going on around you locally, men's circles are a really great place to start with this kind of thing. So as the information comes to me, I will try and share it. And men's circles is something that I'm going to be joining in with and attending, and in the future probably co-facilitating men's circles. I definitely enjoyed learning how to do that at the facilitator training. But yeah, also how sick is my friend Marco, who was a facilitator on the hand pan, you know, the thing that was playing with, you got a couple of the dudes freestyling over the top around the campfire. It was so much fun. There's some such incredible humans on these courses. I can't even begin to explain how creative these men are. Just wonderful, wonderful human beings, and it's such a pleasure to spend every evening throughout the course of that trip around a campfire, playing music, listening to people freestyle, poetry. There was people playing guitars. It was just a beautiful atmosphere overall. And so it wasn't just like work all day. It was, the whole thing was incredibly enjoyable. I highly recommend it. But yeah, I didn't film much of the second convergence. I did most of the filming in this one. So, but yeah, if you're interested in any of this Sacred Son stuff, the links are in the description. Learning how to take those energy shifts and apply them into your life in some aspect, and that's what a lot of the workshops here are about. Is like taking what's been learned and what's been shifted and integrating it into real life, so it makes an actual difference to our lives. There's been a lot of man hugging this weekend. So much man hugging.
So many beautiful men out here.
Thank you
video
all.
already, man.
Okay, some video.
Yeah!
Sacred Sons.
This is, I feel like, much bigger than all of the individuals here, and much bigger than the 150 men that are here doing this work this weekend and next weekend. There's men's work going on all around the world, but I believe that the unhealed masculine wounds that men carry are the cause of so much unnecessary suffering in the world. Individuals stepping up and healing the emotional wounds that they carry, so that they stop projecting that shit into the world and into their lives around them. That's what's gonna change the world. And the feminine women have been doing this work for a long time. They understand what's going on. and men are just starting to pick up the ball and take responsibility for all the shit that we're causing in the world. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm done with causing shit in my life. I'm done with causing pain for the people around me and the friends and family, and I'm done not being the best version of myself to serve those around me. And so this is where this work begins, and it's about taking responsibility for things that not necessarily are my fault, but they are my responsibility to heal. Things that have happened to me that have created these behavioral patterns that aren't serving me, and they're certainly not serving the people around me. So that's what this is about. It's about understanding what it means to embody the masculine and balance that with the feminine. And it's about taking responsibility for my existence. I'm taking full responsibility for my existence and all the shit that comes with that. But yeah. I've made so many friends this weekend, it's off the charts. Everybody feels like a brother to me now, and you all are my brothers and sisters, and I don't say that lightly. We are all one, we are all the same, and the sooner we come to that level of consciousness around the oneness, there's no separation between me and you, there's no separation between us and the planet, it's all one. And the sooner we come to that kind of level of consciousness, the faster we're going to heal through all this old consciousness, old paradigms, slow evolution bullshit that we've been dragging along. This is the next phase of human evolution. This is consciousness rising. This is us understanding the power that we have within us, taking responsibility for that power and using it to serve and be here for good, not just to serve me, my ego the whole time. I've been there, done that. It doesn't work for me. So now, anything I'm doing to serve myself is to then enable me to serve others. And that's why I've been selfish in doing this inner work right now, because I'm fed up with my own bullshit that I'm carrying around. And I know that the people that I've been spending my life with too, they're definitely fed up with my bullshit. So I'm taking responsibility for it. I challenge you to think about what it means to be a man. And I'm not preaching here. This is the beginning of my journey. This is the first men's retreat that I've been on. I've learned so much that I never even knew was an aspect of me, an aspect of being a man, all the different vital parts of the masculine archetype, the king, the wizard, the magician rather. I like wizard better. The warrior and the lover. Those 4 archetypes that make up, in balance, the masculine. And just understanding and learning that is such a process of enlightenment in itself. Spending time with my brothers here and the love that I've felt for them is something that in a depth I've never felt before. And that's completely my responsibility. I've been closed off to this love. I've been closed off to the masculine. Been closed off because of unhealed wounds that I've been carrying around that I'm now really diving into and processing, and it feels like I'm not the same person I was yesterday in the best way possible. Yeah, feeling good. I love you guys, and thank you Sacred Sons for everything you're doing, and thank you to all the people doing men's work in the world. This is incredibly important. Thank you, I love you. Guys, look, I just shopped at Lazy Acres.